Hello, BitMonger family. Jay here. In today's video, I'm going to talk about tips, things that you can do so you don't get scammed when it comes to buying property in Thailand. All right. So, the first thing that I would recommend is this: any property that you buy, you get someone like a lawyer or an attorney to check out what you're purchasing to make sure that it's above board and you do your due diligence. Very, very important, no matter what. Okay. The next thing is this: I would recommend purchasing any property before you get involved with a woman. Okay. Now, the reason why is because if it's separated and you already have the property before you get involved with her, and that's documented, well, then she's got no claim, right? So that's a good move. The next thing is condos are going to be the safest to purchase. Okay. Because in Thailand, as a foreigner, you can legally own a condo. 49% of the units within inside of a building can be owned by foreigners. Make sure again that it's checked, it's registered, you get the cha note, and your name's on it, and it's all above board. Okay. Another thing is never buy a property that's in development. Okay. Don't buy something that hasn't been built yet. Never, ever do that. The next thing is I prefer to purchase properties that have been around for at least 7 years. The reason why is because oftentimes these properties will not be maintained. You can see it all over Thailand. Condos, housing developments, the people don't pay the maintenance fees, or perhaps the management company is corrupted and they don't maintain the building and the facilities, and it goes to shit. So I always buy properties that have had a track record and I can see that they are well maintained and taken care of. The next thing is if you're going to do it with your Thai girlfriend, and trust me, these Thai ladies, this is what they want. They want you, their dream is, in most cases, is for you to buy land and build them a house. It might be just building a house on land that is in their family already, which I would strongly recommend you never do. And if you do decide to do it, make sure that it is enough that you can walk away from it and it won't hurt you financially. You need to have enough money to be able to walk away and it doesn't fucking sting you too bad. Okay. And if you can't do that, well, then I would say don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, too many relationships are failures, and that's just something that you need to recognize. The other thing that your girlfriend might want you to do is buy the land in a different spot, maybe near her village. I would recommend that you buy it far away from the family and her friends. It's good to have a buffer zone, uh, so people aren't just showing up and on your property and hanging out, because that can become annoying. Um, Another thing, if you do get land, I would, and if it's not inside of a gated community, then I would you need to buy a very big piece of land, because if you don't, you'll find that oftentimes your neighbors will be singing karaoke, or they like to burn their garbage, they burn plastic, and then the next thing you know, you got garbage burning and it stinks. You got this nasty, toxic air wafting into your property, and it will just absolutely drive you nuts. So, something to consider. Now, the next thing, if you're doing this, since as a foreigner, you cannot own land. So you're going to have to put it in your girlfriend's or wife's name. And this is something that can be, like I said, very dangerous, you know. So if you do that, I would strongly recommend that after you purchase the property, you immediately have her sign a lease, a 30-year lease for you to control the property. And you have it done through a lawyer, have it stamped, make sure it's all legit, okay? Very, very important. That way you can have claim to that land. Same thing if you get a house, make sure that you get an agreement that you can rent the home and make it for some tiny little amount that you can afford, and you get a 30-year lease on the house, okay? By doing this, you can protect yourself. And it's really important because so often, I can't tell you how many stories I've heard of guys buying land, building homes, buying properties, doing it in their girlfriend's name, only later for the relationship to turn south and they get squat. They get nothing and they have no claim to it. You are shit out of luck, guys, if that happens. Oh, and one other point that I forgot to mention is you can also purchase a house in a gated community, and that's what I have done. And basically, what you do when you do that is that you're buying a share in a company. So, in the housing development I'm in, each house is equivalent to one share in the company. So, the house, that's how it's structured. The house is actually in my name. You can actually have the house in your name, and then you are on a land lease. And you would just want to make sure that that company is above board. And like I said, it's got a history. In my case, this place had been around for over a decade, and it is a joint controlled Thai Swedish company. And it's been very well managed, and long-term owners have been here. So I feel comfortable buying it. And it's also not a huge sum of money. So in the event that it were to, run out of time and they were not to renew the lease agreement, it would suck, but I could deal with it. So that's something that you guys should also consider doing uh, if you're interested in purchasing property. All right, that's it, guys. Hope you're all doing well, and monger on.